That Dad, let's go on Craigslist and look for these weights, because we went to the stores and they were about $500, and lo and behold, we found the very same set of weights for $500, brand spanking new. This guy wanted to give it to us for $100. I said, why would you give this set? I know how much it's cost. It's a $500 set of weights. Why would you give it to us for $100? And the answer was, he said, a hailstorm. I said, tell me, hailstorm. He said, I've always wanted a Toyota Land Cruiser, and the hailstorm made a sale on Toyota Land Cruisers, and now the most important thing in my life is clearing out my garage. Okay? It's more important than the untapped value, that $400 difference in his weight set. And aren't every one of us there with something in our life that we would willingly give it away for almost nothing because something else has become more important? That's how it is with real estate. It's typically a problem or some change in circumstance that does that. The third thing is, and this is a lot of words up here, but these are good words to copy down maybe, is the house is not in the condition that it needs to be in to sell for full market value. Here's the rest of that. And the owner will not or cannot afford the cost, the time, and the hassles of making the renovations. Okay? So, and this is the big key right here. This is really where I hunt for houses. I look for these disasters. And so the investor's playing basically the part of a remodeling general contractor. This house has to be fixed up. All right? Someday, something's going to happen with this house for some couple to move in. Now, it may be bulldozed and a new house may be built, but there is a builder in the future life of this house. There is a builder. There's no doubt about it. And that builder will make a profit when he does what he does, which is building. And when he builds this house, he'll make a profit on that. The real estate investor becomes that builder. All right? You don't often hear that. But in essence, the real estate investor becomes the remodeling general contractor. And he makes his markup on all the repairs and improvements that bring a house up to current market value. Therefore, this is really worth writing down, the worse the condition of the house, the more profit the investor should make. So when I tell people what I'm looking for, I tell them I'm looking for disasters. Disasters. Okay? I'll touch on that a little bit more. All right, so those three things come together to sort of create the perfect storm to make these investment opportunities exist. It starts with an imbalance between the buyer and seller based on an inefficient real estate market. It continues because of a change in the seller's circumstances. Typically, those circumstances aren't a hailstorm. Typically, what they are is they need to sell fast. Okay? They need to sell fast. And they need to sell fast because they've either been relocated or some bad things happened in their life, but for some reason, they need to sell fast. And we can solve that problem by helping them sell fast and giving them cash to do that. I usually talk with questions, so it's weird for me talking and not hearing people, but we're going to have a Q&A at the end of this. I don't know if Kay said that. We've got 15 minutes for that, right, Kay? All right. That's why real estate investment opportunities happen. Here is the map of the process of investing in real estate. There are 5 stages: find, analyze, buy, fix, and sell. And here are the outcomes to all of those stages. In the find stage, the outcome is a house with investment potential. A house with investment potential. That's what you're looking for. When you finish the find stage, that's what you've got, a house with investment potential. Then next we move on to the analyze stage, and the outcome, the end of the analyze stage, is coming up with an offer that maximizes your profit given the risk you're taking, right? And there are varying degrees of risk that you'll be taking. And with those varying degrees of risk, you should get a reward commensurate with that risk. if I could talk to you for an hour today on one subject, that would be it. Number 2, how to analyze houses. You will leave today knowing how to do this. You will leave today knowing how and what to offer on any house. I promise you that. Okay. The third stage in the process of investing is buying the house with the goal that it's an investment house that you own. Very easy. The 4th stage, fix, is a renovated house ready to sell. And finally, the 5th stage is selling the house. What we're going to do in the next few minutes is focus on the find, the analyze, and the fix. And then we can talk in the Q&A a little bit about the buy and sell. I know one question on your minds is, this is what I get a lot, is, hey, I really like this whole thing about real estate investing. I've always wanted to do this, Rick. Always wanted to pick up an old house and sell it for a profit. But I've never had enough money. Okay? You do not need money to do this business. There are scads, I'm serious, there are scads of people that want to loan you their money to do this. One of my very, very good friends, who's also the worship leader at our church, lends money to people like you to buy and fix up these houses. Okay? So, it doesn't take money. All right, so here is the hardest thing about real estate investing. Write this down. The hardest thing about real estate investing is finding a house that you can buy 50 to 65% below market value. It is not the money, folks. Take that off the table. If you can find a house that's 50 to 65% below market value, I will loan you the money. Okay? I will loan you the money. I mean that. It would be my pleasure. It would be a great business deal for me. So, don't worry about the money. Okay. We're going to talk about how to find houses. We're going to talk about 2 ways to find houses. Targeting the right neighborhoods, and then generating leads in those neighborhoods that will bring you these houses. So where do we look? Why do we target neighborhoods? Really, the answer to that is we don't have enough time and enough money to scour all of Austin. We can't throw a postcard at everyone who lives in Austin. So let's whittle that down and target the most likely neighborhoods in Austin, surrounding area, or wherever you live, where these opportunities might occur. And the way I do that is I target these kind of criteria. First of all, the age of the house. I look for 20 years or older. Now, why do I do that? There are 2 reasons. Anyone? Why do I look for 20 years or older houses to invest in? Yes, it's not in very good shape. What do you mean? Arnold. Yeah, good answer. It's not in very good shape. The older houses, the worse the shape, and as we said, the worse the shape, the more money you make in the business. What's another good reason? What's that?
Older houses could be in a period of transition.
Old, yeah, there probably are. Very, very good, April. So that's a 3rd reason, April. Way to go. So older houses are more likely to be in a state of transition. In other words, older houses are probably more likely to be attached to owners who may have circumstances. I buy that. You probably don't have circumstances with your house the first year you move into it. I get that. What's another reason?
Equity.
Who said equity? A lot of you said equity. Great answer, okay? Older houses have a more likelihood